Hi everybody. So we're just gonna continue where we left off, creating the little Superman minion designed by Jess Davis, or also known as CraftLover17 on Instagram. If you haven't seen part 1, please do check it out. And to review, these are the supplies that you're going to need to create him. So I hope you enjoy, and let's continue. Round 1 of the goggles, we're going to do 7 single crochets in the magic ring. So take your first band and you're going to wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And now you're going to bring 7 bands through, one at a time. So reach in, grab your first band and bring it through on your hook. Bring your loop over and slide your band. Go back in for your second, bring it through on your hook and bring your 2 loops over. Bring it to the side. Back in again, bring your band through on your hook and 2 bands over. And you're just going to continue the same way. Band through, on your hook, 2 loops over. Attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove this off the loom. Move your bands around and you should have 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 is on your hook. Round 2 of the goggle, I'm going to stay with the white color and I'm going to increase on every stitch. So adding 2 bands, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and 2. So going in on your first stitch, we're going to bring 2 bands through, one at a time. Go back in that same stitch for your second band. And the next stitch, same thing, 2 bands. And you're going to repeat all the way until you get to the stitch marker. You can remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. And you should have 14 stitches. For round 3, continuing with the white, we're going to do 6 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And on your 7th chain, you're adding 2 bands. And then you're going to repeat one more time. So go in your first 6 chains, adding 1 band. The next with 1. And just continue. So I just did 6 single crochets and now I'm at my 7th chain and where I'm going to add 2 bands. Back in. And now you're going to do the same thing until you get to the stitch marker. So I'm at the stitch marker, and this is where I'm adding 2 bands. So I have 16 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 4 of the goggle, we're going to change color and use gray now. So I'm going to do 16 single crochets and grabbing the inside loop only. So I'm going to change color, so I'm going to start with a slip stitch first. I'm going to go to my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, and I'm going to grab the loop that's facing the center. So the first one, I'm not going through the whole chain, I'm just grabbing the first one, and I'm going to bring my first band through both of these loops that are on my hook and grab the end and slide. Don't pull too hard. So it's loose, and you're going to continue going around just grabbing the inside loop, adding 1 band to each. The next chain with 1 and just grabbing that inside loop only, and you're just going to continue until you get to your stitch marker. At the end of this round, you should have 16 stitches. So I am using 16 bands. In the last chain, or the last inside loop, remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For round 5, the last part of this goggle part, we're going to do 16 single crochets, and you're going to grab the chain on each. So let's go on our first. Don't go on your little slip knot. You want to go on your chain here and bring your first band through. So you're just adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. The last band you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. So I'm at the last band, slip knot, bring it through all of the loops, grab the end, and tie it off. I'm going to remove this stitch marker, and we're going to turn this inside out, just like that, and flatten it up. I'm going to hide this slip knot now, so I'm just going to kind of bring it through these little stitches that are inside here. So I'm just going to go through, and I just want to hide the little slip knot. So I'm just going to bring it through. And maybe one more. And then flatten it up. And you can put this to the side. Now we're going to do the back strap in a black color. And this is what it's going to look like. So there's 3 rounds to this. And first we're going to start off with doing a chain of 29. So I have 30 bands here. Our first band is going to be our cap band that I'm going to wrap. So you can see 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're going to need 30 bands. Your first band is going to be a cap band that you're going to wrap around your hook 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And now you're going to do a simple chain. So your first band, you're going to attach to your hook inside this band, your cap band over, and you're just making a simple chain. We need a chain of 29. So you can just continue doing the same thing, sliding the bands on, and you've got your simple chain. Take your time. You don't want the bands twisted, so just take your time doing this. So now I have a chain of 29. For round 2, what we're going to do is attach our little chain here. We're going to attach this end with our cap band right at the end. I'm going to use 30 bands to do this round. When you're attaching this end to this end, the cap band, make sure that it's not twisted. Like, you don't want to have it all twisted. You want to make sure that it's completely flat. So it's easy if you put it flat on your workspace, and you want to put your hook through the cap band. So those 3 little loops right at the end. And make sure that it's flat and not twisted. Now I'm going to bring my first band through all of these loops and do a slip knot. So bring all my loops through and grab the other end and slide. You don't need to pull too hard. Now I'm going to do a reverse stitch, so I'm going to be working backwards. So I'm going to just turn it around. Normally we would just go in here, but I'm just going to turn it around so I'm working the other way. And my hook is going to go in each chain around, so I'm going to do a single stitch on each chain until I get back to the end. So just to show you again, normally you would go this way. I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to bring my first band through my chain on my hook and slide. And I'm just going to go all the way around. If you don't turn, the worst that's going to happen is it's just not going to meet at the end. So this was me trying. And I forgot to turn. So I'm going to go in the next stitch and just doing your single crochet, adding 1 band. The next. So you can see how I'm working the opposite direction, and I'm going to go all the way around, and you're going to see where you need to stop. If you didn't count 30 bands, you're going to find your your cap band, and you're going to know automatically where to stop. So just continue all the way around. Just going in the chains. Making sure that you're not twisting it and you're going like you're turning it or something. Try to keep it as flat as you can and try not to rush. If I am going too fast for you, just please pause the video. Oops, I didn't grab the chain. And I'm back where I started at the cap band. And this is where you should have what you should have. So I'm going to start you off. You're going to go in your chain. I'm just going to start you off so we don't let go. You're going to go in your first chain and just hold your hook there and keep it there until I set out the bands again. And you're just going to go around again, the single crochet one band in each chain. So for round 3, again, 30 bands. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. So I'm going to grab my first band and bring it through that first chain that we had our hook set already. And continuing around. And we're still working in that reverse stitch. So you're just going through the chain if you can't see. And your last band, if I didn't say already, sorry, you're going to do a slip stitch with your last band to tie it closed, and then we're done with this strap. Again, if you're not counting, you're going to know where to stop. You're going to see a difference. They're going to not meet up. You're going to see where to meet up when you're done. So I'm back at my slip knot here. You can see it. I'm going to go one stitch over. I actually just needed 29 bands, sorry. I'm going to just stretch this out, and you're going to see the little cap band is right here. I'm just going to go one stitch over and do a slip knot to tie it closed. So I'm going to bring it through all of the loops and grab the end and tie it closed. And your little strap is done. It's not twisted, it's flat, it's straight, and we're just going to hide the little slip knot. So you can just go in the same direction in the little stitches here and bring your little slip knot through. Keep going just to hide it. So now we're going to add the eye, and the eye is your choice. Jess, when she created this, she used a 12mm safety eye. I unfortunately don't have any, so I'm going to work with what I have. I have some goggle eyes. I have a pony bead. This is bigger than a 7. I'm thinking it's a 9mm pony bead. And I have some googly eyes. I even have a little button here, this round little ball that I found. So whatever you can find. I also just made a magic ring with 5 stitches here of the black, which I'm going to show you to do this just in case you don't have anything else. So I'm going to take this apart, and this is really simple. You're just going to do a magic ring with 5 stitches, and I don't think that I need to show you how to do that one, but what I am going to do is just take this apart right here and undo my slip knot and undo this one and put this back on my hook. So I made a magic ring with 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to close this off by going in the next stitch with a single black band. I'm pretty sure that this was simple enough to do. So I'm going to bring it through and on my hook and slide. And then close this off here. And I'm just going to hide this little slip knot by going through one of the stitches here and bringing this towards the back. Now I'm going to bring a white band through 2 of these stitches in the back. I can hide this after going out in the back of the goggle. So from either end, making sure that it's even, I'm probably going to go from here to here. I'm going to bring a white band through the stitches at the back. I'm just going to put in the center here and release. Now I'm going to bring this other end through another stitch on the opposite side. So over here. And this is the band that I'm going to use to pull through the back of the goggle. If you're using a safety eye, I cut 2 little holes and put a band through, and I used dental floss to bring it through. It's up to you. I think I'm going to be going with the goggle eye. And I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to bring the white bands through to the other side, on either side of our magic circle. So going through here, bringing it through, and then finding the other end of the white to bring through. So I have both ends of that white through, and I'm going to find the other end, and I'm going to do a slip knot with another band. Now I just thought it would be a little bit different to bring, let's bring this black band to the back first, going from the center and hiding that band. Now I'm going to bring this white band through the center of the eye and have it sticking out just a little bit, something a little bit different. And then you can just fix that up. That's sticking out a little bit too much, so I'm just going to bring it back. At the end of the day, however you do it, it's yours. Something a little bit different, and you can just kind of fold the magic ring and there's the eye. But I will be attaching my googly eye, my wiggly eye, so I'll be using that. So get your eye ready and attach it. I'm just going to stick this in there, grabbing both of the blacks ends and the opposite side. Bring it to the back, and I'm going to use another band to tie it closed. And there's the eye. Now to attach this, the goggle part to the strap, it's up to you how you want to do it. I'm going to bring my little slip knot through, and I'm going to do two little slip knots on either side. I'm using the part where we started and stopped on the strap part, and I'm just going to go through the strap, grab one of the stitches on the goggle. Don't go through the whole goggle because then you're going to see it on the other side. So I'm just going to grab two of the stitches. You don't want to see your stitch through. And I'm going to bring my band through and do a slip knot. And I'm going to do this on either side. But I don't want to go over, so I'm just going to go right beside where I came out and grab the other end and bring it through. And slip knot. And we're going to do this one more time on the other side. So go through, grab one of the little stitches, bring your band through, and you can go right beside it in another hole, grab the other end, and do a slip knot, and it's attached. And you can just fix it up. Hide the little slip knots in the back. Now to sew the little costume on, the little suit onto the body. So you're going to put it on, and you're going to put it nice and neat and make sure that it's up and it's flat. We're going to sew around the suit and attach it to the actual body. So make sure that it's nice and neat, and you want to pick that the side that you want to have it on, your nicest side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right at the back where my slip knot is, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to need 32 bands. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking you need 32 bands. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right beside the slip knot, and I'm going to go this way just because I'm comfortable with going that way. So I'm going to put my hook through the stitch that's right beside the slip knot on the body. And what I want to do is I want to get right beside the little stitches on the body that are going straight. So you can see, let me use a toothpick. We don't want to go like on the sides of these. You're going to see the row of the little straight stitches, and that's what I'm going to be grabbing right beside it. I'm not going to go up here. I'm going to go where it's right beside, if you have this flat, like right underneath my blue stitch here. And I'm going to put it through the body, and I'm going to grab my band, my first band, and bring it through and on my hook and slide. The next stitch and the next straight stitch on the body. And slide. The next stitch on the suit, on the body. Careful you don't grab the stuffing, just more for you to fix at the end, and I'm always grabbing stuffing. Next stitch on the suit, straight stitch on the body, and bring your band through. And just continue like this all the way around, and take your time so you don't grab the stuffing. Check to make sure that you're going straight, that your suit is not coming off, and you want to just check your stitches just to make sure that they're nice and neat. And just continue until you get to that end. Suit, body, stitch through the chains on your hook and slide. Your last band, you are going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. I'm just going to check my stitches, making sure that this is still nice and flat. And the last stitch on the body, and bring your band through all of the loops and tie it off. Now you can just hide your little slip knots through the body and keep hiding, and the other one. And then fix any of the stuffing that's coming out. Now you're going to add some stuffing to the boots, and then we're going to sew them on. So please don't overstuff the boots. You don't want a lot, you don't want to lose its shape, and you don't want the stuffing to show through. So once it starts to show through, you know you have too much. So you can do both. I've already done one. And then you can just fix the form of it. This is the bottom base. Now we're going to sew on the legs, and I'm thinking that you need 9 stitches. I'm not 9 bands. I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to do both legs with you, but I just want to warn you, don't look at where my slip knots are. You can see that these 2 boots are in different spots. It depends on how we crochet them with our tension. So ignore my slip knots. I'm going to do this leg first, and what I want you to do is fix up your boot and find the tip, the point. Now you're going to fold your boot in half. And you want to see right at the front here, this stitch that's going sideways. Count 3 stitches to the left. So 1, 2, and 3. Put your hook through. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to sew this to the body. Here's your magic circle. Here's your magic circle. And what you want to do is go to the side. And you're going to see your next stitch. So there's your hole, and here's your stitch. Grab it. Magic circle, hole, stitch. Bring a band through, your stitch on the body, and your stitch on the boot. Grab the end and slide. Now fix your boot. I'm going to be sewing this way, So you're gonna see that the boot is straight right here, so I need to grab a stitch that's right below. So here I am, and I wanna grab a stitch right below. So I'm just gonna grab right there. But I have to go through the boot first. So I want you to see your magic circle, stitch, next stitch. Go through the boot, the next stitch on the boot, and grab that stitch on the body, and bring your band through the 2 stitches on your hook and slide. Fix the boot, put it flat, and you're gonna see that I'm starting to turn, but not quite yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my hook through the boot, the next stitch, and I'm gonna put my hook flat, and you're gonna see the tip of my hook. Let me show you. Can't pick up. The tip of my hook is right at the stitch right below. Bring a band through your 2 stitches on your hook and slide. Now let's put our boot flat, and you're gonna see I'm starting to turn. So let's put our hook through the next stitch and our hook straight down. Where your hook is where you wanna grab. So I am about there. I'm just gonna grab down here. And bring a band through your stitches on your hook and slide. I want to just check out the boot, make sure it's going on right, and go through the next stitch on the boot. And you're not quite turning yet, but you're going to be straight. So basically you're going to pick a stitch right beside it. So put your hook straight and grab that stitch wherever your tip of your hook is on your hook and slide. Let's try this again. We're starting to turn, so we're going to grab the next stitch over. Put your hook on the boot, put it flat, your hook, and that's where you're going to grab. And slide. I can see that I have 4 more stitches, 1, 2, 3, and 4, so I am going to need another band. So now put your hook through the next stitch on the boot, put your hook straight flat. I'm starting to turn, so I'm going to grab the next stitch over. So I think I'm going to need more bands. I'm going to go through. This is silly of me not knowing the band count here. Go through the next stitch, going straight now. Put your hook straight. And slide. Let's check out the leg to make sure. And go through the next stitch on the boot. You're still going in that straight line, so you want to grab the stitch right beside it. Bring your band through on your hook and slide. The next stitch on the boot, go in a straight form, the next stitch over. I just realized we have 12 stitches on the boot, so we're going to need 12 bands. I didn't realize that. Okay, next stitch on the boot. So I'm here, and we're starting to turn, but not quite yet. So put your hook flat, and I'm kind of inside here. And of the next stitch. And I have 1 more stitch. So I am turning. I can see that the leg is turning. So we need to grab, not up here beside, we need to just kind of loosen it up, let our hook show us where to go. You're doing a slip knot to tie this closed. This is the last stitch. And our leg is on. And then you can fix it up. Move some of the stitching to the top. You need to hide these slip knots by going in the boot somewhere and bringing the slip knots through, not grabbing the stuffing. And then you can hide that a little bit nicer. Now for the other leg. If you are having trouble with the legs, take a toothpick, center it out in the center of your magic ring and push it through. And then this will help you to keep it in place. Once I show you where to start, this will help not do the work for you. It will help you. And then you can kind of sew it around. But I'm not going to use that. You're going to do the same thing. Fix your boot, find the tip, fold it in half. Count 3 stitches to the right now. So here's your 1 stitch. We're not going to count. That's your center. And we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to go from the outside in. And we're going to go right beside the magic circle again. So 1, and then go straight across, and 2, and we're going to grab the stitch on the body. I'm going to have to grab this way, so pointing my hook to the other leg. And no, we're going to go this way, from the center out. Sorry about that. And we're going to bring a stitch through the body and the foot on our hook and slide. Now we're going to go this way, so I'm going to go through the next stitch on the leg, and we're going straight up. So we want to grab the stitch right above. And bring a band through. And I'm going to try this again. The next stitch right above. Bring my band through the stitches on my hook and slide. And we're still going straight, so I want to go through the stitch on the boot, and I want to grab the stitch right above. Bring a band through on my hook and slide. Now I'm starting to turn, so if I put the boot flat, you're going to start to see that your boot, it should be turning. So we want to make sure that we're grabbing a stitch above but turning. So go through the boot, and we want to grab a stitch somewhere over here. So put the boot flat, put your hook flat, don't point it, straight down, and grab the stitch. Bring your band through on your hook and slide. Now I'm going to be going straight, the sideways part, stitch, and boot flat, hook flat, and find a stitch right beside. Bring my band through my stitches on my hook and slide. Stitch on the leg. We're going to start to turn. Nope, we're still going straight. So just put your boot flat, point your hook straight, and grab that stitch. So it's right beside. Bring your band through on your hook and slide. Now put your leg straight, like flat. You're going to see we have to turn, so we're not going to grab over here, we're going to grab down here. So put your hook in the next stitch on the boot, hook flat, and grab your band on your hook and slide. The next stitch, we're at the side of the body. Put your boot flat, your hook flat, let your hook be your guide, bring your band through. I'm turning and I'm at the back. Stitch, boot flat. We want to make sure that we're going to stay even with this leg too. Hook is your guide, your best friend right now. You want to make sure that you go with the tip of your hook. And on. Still going straight, or the side here, through the stitch on the leg, point your hook straight at it, and bring your band through. Next stitch, hook, straight, keeping an eye on this one. And our last stitch on the leg, on the body, slip knot, through, on your hook, and slide. And yay, the legs are on. Hide your slip knots. A little bit better than me. Fix up your legs. And he's on. Now we're going to sew on the arms, and I'm going to do 2 little slip knots on each, our sewing bands, and one is going to be our closing band to tie this off when we're sewing it on. So fold the arm in half, put the slip knot to the side, and I'm going to add 1 band in the center by doing a slip knot. So I'm going through both chains from either side in the center. Bring a band through on your hook and tie it off. We want to band at the end here to make it even with this one. So I'm going to go through the corners right at the end. So I skip 2 stitches here, 1 on either side, and I'm at the end. And I didn't stuff them. And I'm going to do that with the other, with 2 bands, skipping the stitch here, this one beside, going through the center on either side, bring a band through, and at the end here, bring a band through. Do a slip knot and tie it off. Now, I am going to put the mask on. I may or may not leave it. I may or may not take it off when I'm doing the cape. I probably will take it off. But I just want to put it here for the placement of the arms. So however you want to put your arms down or sideways, it depends on how you want to place them. So that's how you're going to sew them on. I'm going to put his arms down, kind of maybe on an angle a little bit here. So I'm going to just move this over and find a placement, turn it to the side, and I'm going to grab 3 stitches. So let's see if I'm up here or come down. I think I'm going to go right at the neck. So I'm going to bring it through 3 stitches on the side here. So 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to pull my little guide, my sewing bands through the next stitch, slide, and the next stitch, and slide. Now I'm going to grab the little slip knot that I tied onto the arm as a guiding band, a sewing band, and I'm just going to go through that. And I'm going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. And then you can just hide the little slip knot by going through the arm and bringing the band through. And then just continue hiding it. Now for the other arm, same thing. Other side, make sure you're even with this one. You're on the side, and I'm catching the stitches right at the top here, like right below where we sewed here. So let's find a placement. If I start on this stitch, will it be the same or should I move over? I think right here. I'm going to try and then check. So I'm going to go through through, grab it, and slide. I just want to check first to make sure, and it's good. I'm going to catch the little sewing band that we have on the arm and bring my band through and do a slip knot. And again, hide your slip knot in the arm. Now we're going to do his little emblem. I'm going to make one smaller, but this is the idea right here. And this is what it's going to look like. So for this, what you're going to need is a ruler, scissors, pencil, 2 pieces of paper, yellow felt, red felt, some glue, and I'm going to use a toothpick to help me pull that band through. If you have a piece of dental floss, a string, you're going to need a needle. If you have a bobby pin, safety pin, you can use that, but I'll be using a little toothpick. And if I didn't say, 1 blue elastic. So I'm just going to move my stuff out of the way here, and we're going to start off with our ruler and pencil and scissors. This is my little template, what I'm going to be copying. So with my ruler, I'm going to go in the center of my little piece of paper, and I'm going to draw a line 1 1/4 inches long. So in the center here, 1 1/4, here's 1 1/4 inch, 4 more lines, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's 1 1/4 inches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold my piece of paper and make a crease on either side. So I'm going to turn it over, find the ending of my line, and make a crease. And on the other side, make a crease. Now I want to make a crease in the center. So I'm going to take my 2 creases together, making sure they're together, and crease it down the center. Now what I want to do is kind of go on an angle this way. So this might take you a few times, but that's okay. What I'm going to do is basically go off to the side for a 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch is right in between the 1 inch. So right here. So angle it just slightly. We want to do it on the other side, sorry. We want to do it on this side. So you're going to angle ever so slightly. And this part we might have to just fix up after. So don't worry about this side. My apologies already. Now what you're going to do is we need a line in the center that's 1 inches. So you can see that my point is right in the center of my crease. So 1 inch. So you're going to have to angle this. If you're down here and it's past the 1, you know you're too long. So you want to just angle and 1 inch. Just like that. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half and you're going to cut. So with your scissors, and you're going to form the other side. And there's your diamond, and this is going to fit right in between. Now we need to make a little M to fit inside. So let's try to do this, and how we're going to do that is we're going to make a copy of this. So take your little diamond and trace it. And cut it out. Doesn't have to be all that neat because we're making the M inside. Now, take your template of your diamond and you're basically going to use inside and make the kind of shape. So this is what we're going to use to help us make this M. But before we start, let's fold this piece of paper in half. So we only have to worry about making one side of the M, and then we can cut it out. So now what we're going to do is just half of this M. So you're going to take and put it on an angle just a little bit, kind of like that, and do a line. And you can fix it up. And just make a little line. And you can use this to help you out and just make it straight, even with that line. I can't give you the precise, but we'll get it. Now a little line. And now you're going to fold it in half and cut it out. So there's your diamond and there's your M. So what you're going to do now is take your pieces of your felt, the M goes on the yellow and the diamond goes on the red. Just like that. And you're going to trace them out, or you can kind of hold these. You could probably hold these. I'm going to save some felt and cut around it. Very carefully. Or trace them. I originally traced them, but I think if you hold this down, it'll be good. And then you can cut out the red one by doing the same thing and put those to the side for a second. So pause the video and cut out the red. Now that you have your two pieces cut out, what I'm going to do is with my scissors, I am going to fold this in half. Where's my little blue band? Here we go. Gonna need your blue band. And I'm gonna make a little slit on this side and a little slit on the other side. Just want to make sure I got it. Careful with your scissors. And I'm going to bring this blue band through the two holes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on top and I'm going to put my toothpick through the bottom and through the hole. So this is what I have available. So anything that you have to bring this band through, I'm going to basically go on top and bring the band through the hole. I might need a little bit bigger hole. I think I need a bigger hole. And just bring it through. And on the other side. So same thing. Put your toothpick through the hole, grab the end, and bend it forward. I couldn't believe I didn't have any bobby pins. I don't use them. And bring it through. So now I have both ends through. A million different options how to get it through, so long you get it through to the other side. And this is what we're going to use to tie it to the body. Now before I glue the M on, I'm going to attach this to the body. So I'm going to find my placement where I would like it. And you're going to need your hook. And you want to just go through the stitch here on the body and bring this band through. So what I'm going to do is to tie it off, I'm going to go and grab this side and bring it through, kind of let go and grab the other end, and we're going to do a slip knot. Just like that. So now it's on, and you're going to glue your M on. I do recommend a felt glue or any other kind of glue, like a hot glue gun kind of thing. I am using an Elmer's. It's not that great, but it's doing the job. So you can put some glue on the back or pick a side and add some glue. A little bit more in the center here. And if it comes off, but it's been holding up. It's just the fun of it all. And there we go. So that part's done. You might want to let this sit for just a few minutes. We're going to do the cape next, and we're going to leave that like that. Now we're going to add the mouth and the hair. And to do this, what I'm going to do is take two black, I'm going to do the mouth first, and I'm going to tie them together. So a little slip knot and slide. And I'm going to bring this through 6 stitches. So with my hook, somewhere in the center, I'm going to count 6 holes starting from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to put my hook through, just like that, and I'm going to bring a band through and do a slip knot with a yellow band. Try not to grab the stuffing, and grabbing that yellow band, and we're going to do a slip knot. And now you're going to try to turn it a little bit and hide that yellow band. And you could angle it if you like, however you want to position it. I went straight. For the hair, I'm going to end up using 2 yellow and 2 black. You're going to take the 2 black and tie together. So a little slip knot. Let me try again. And again. Grab the end. And I'm going to do the same thing with the yellow band. So just a little slip knot. I'm just going to untwist my band. I'm going to do that again. And now I'm going to, I'm going to go right below the magic circle, and I'm going to bring these bands through, this yellow band. Because I'm right-handed, I might go this way. And right where my band is going to end, this black, so putting this in the center, I'm going to go right across to the other side where the black band is ending on this side, and I'm going to catch the yellow and bring it through. And I'm going to take this end and I'm going to do a slip knot to hold them together, secure them in place, and release some of the tension here. And I'm going to hide this slip knot, the yellow band, just like that. For the cape, we're going to attach the cape at the back. And what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to tell you exactly how many bands you're going to use. I've done the approximate count, but it depends on how you sewed the arms on or crocheted the body. I'm going to give you the steps, not the actual count per row. And that is for many reasons, because it will just, I think, cause frustration. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to do 3 rows with you, and then you're going to continue the exact same way. I do recommend using C-clips every time you end a row. It will help you to know what stitch to go into. So use the C-clips. I'm going to start on this side because I'm left-handed. So I'm going to start on this side because I'm right-handed. If you are left-handed, you'll probably start on this side. To start off, you want to insert your hook in these stitches, and you want to go from the bottom up. Don't go down this way. Your stitches will be upside down and your cape will start to flip. So you want to, with your hook, start from the bottom up. Now, you want to start your cape where your arms end, and you want to end at the end where your arm finishes. So you're going to make the cape from here to here. So let me show you. What we're going to do, I'm going to put some bands here, is I'm going to start about here, and I'm going to turn them around to make sure that this is where I want the cape to be. I'm going to bring 1 band through. So insert your hook from the bottom up, bring your band through, and you're going to do a single crochet. And you're going to do that to each stitch until you get to the other arm. So making sure, it's a little bit awkward to sew like this, to crochet like this, but after a couple of rounds, it will be like second nature. So you're just going through each chain and doing a single crochet all the way to the other arm. When you get to that little slip knot on the body, we're going to find the stitches where to go. So now I'm at the slip knot area. You want to find your chain, and you want to keep finding the chain. This is the only really hard part, is finding an actual chain. Now I'm going to kind of go underneath the slip knot just so it's all nicely spaced. This is the other side of the slip knot. On each row, you want to make sure that you're putting that hook from the bottom up. On no rows, go put your hook this way. You must be this way. The cape will look really funny after, all twisted. What happens is the stitches will be one way, like upside down, and it just won't look right. I did an entire cape upside down and couldn't figure out what went wrong. So I'm going to turn them around. I don't know if I should go one more stitch or not. So I'm going to hold that up my hook. I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to hold this on my hook for a second. And I want to see if this is even. Like, do I have to go one more stitch? I just want to make sure, and I think I'm good with having it there. So I'm going to stop there. That's my first row. Now, for the amount of rows that you need, however long you want it, is up to you. I'm going to do 16 more rows. So this was my first row. I'm going to do 16 more. So it's going to be down to about here. And so in total 17. It's up to you how short you want it, or if you want it longer or just a little one. It's up to you on the length. So let's get started with the row 2. I'm going to attach a C-clip. I highly recommend using one. Now, what you're going to do is leave it on your hook, and you're going to crochet the other way in a reverse stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook in the chain where my band is coming out of. And I'm going to add 2 bands on my first stitch. So this stitch is going to be 2 bands, and then the last stitch will be 2 bands. So 2 elastics on the first and 2 elastics on the last. All these stitches, you're using 1 band per chain. So let's go get started. On each round is going to be the exact, excuse me, the exact same way. So that was 1. Go back in and add your second band. Now you're going to do 1 band, I'm sorry, 1 band in each chain. Notice I'm going from the bottom up. Now this is the last stitch. This is your slip knot, and this is the last one. You want to add 2 bands and then attach a C-clip. So this was 1. Go back in and add 2. Oop. So this is your second, and slide. Add a C-clip. It will help you to know what stitch to go into after. So now we're going to do a reverse stitch, adding 2 bands in this chain. Then you're adding 2 bands in the last chain. So now again, I'm just turning him sideways, so making my life easier. Don't turn him upside down so you're going this way. You want to be this way. So in the first chain where your band is coming out of, add 2 bands. You want to slide. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to slide through everything from now on. So when you start your first band, slide through all of the loops and grab your end and slide. So on each end now, from now on, all the rest of the rows, you're going to do a slip stitch on each one, that first band. Go back in, for a second band on your hook and slide. We're nice and straight here. Go in your next chain with one band. And all the way until the end. With one band. Now I'm at my last stitch here. I'm not going to use where the C-clip is. Where your C-clips are, I'm not going to go in there. So I'm going to go in this last stitch with 2 bands. So go back in. And I'm going to leave it just like that. So each one, I'm not going to be using these. So on your last one here, I'm not going to go in that stitch. I'm going to end on the stitch before. So this is why I say to use the C-clips. I found when I went in that stitch, it was bumpy, it was wavy. So don't go in here. Now to start you off again, you're going to attach your C-clip. And you want to go in that band where your band is being pulled and add 2 bands. Your first band, you want to do a slip stitch. And go back in for your second band. You're now adding 1 band, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then your last stitch 2 bands. So you're going to complete this. So you have a total of 17 rows or however long you want it. It's up to you. So I'll come back and show you halfway in between of what it looks like. I'm at a halfway point of the cape, so you can see how it looks. I'm going to do this next row with you just to, maybe some of you might need that help by doing another row. So I'm almost at the end. So I'm going to keep going just to show you your last stitch, you're adding 2 bands. But some people might ask, where is the last stitch? I'm at the end, I'm at the last stitch. You're going to notice, do I have something else pointy? No. Okay. Don't go where your C-clip is. Don't. And don't go in the little slip knot. You want to go in the last chain is here, the visible chain right on the top. So go in and add 2 bands. Back in. And attach your C-clip. And now you're going to go the other way. So I'm going to add 2 bands in the first chain. So I'm going to go in from the bottom, not from the top. And I'm going to bring 1 band through all of the loops. And then you're going to add your second band in that chain. So the first band is your slip knot, your slip stitch. Go back in from the bottom up and add your second band through that chain on your hook and slide. So it's going on an angle as we're growing this cape. Now continue going to the end with adding one band in each chain. You're just single crocheting from the bottom up. Now this is my last chain. Let me take this out. No, I have one more chain. So I'm not going to go where my stitch marker is. I'm not going to go that little slip knot. This is my last chain. So let me put one band in this chain, the chain before. And then the last chain, you're adding two bands so you can see. One. And then go back in for two. Now attach that stitch marker and you're going to reverse the other way. So let me just start you off. Go in the first chain and do a slip knot or a slip stitch. Same thing. Through all the loops that are on your hook and slide, and then go back in that same one for your second band. Now one band in each chain, and then the last one, you're adding two bands. When you're done the cape, you want to do a slip knot to tie it closed. So it's up to you how long you want it. I'm going to keep going.